and thunderstorms are on the way, cloudy with a high near 71. Currently, it's 67 and partly cloudy. With your Fox Valley forecast, I'm Will Walker on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals. And it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Welcome to downtown Elgin, where businesses, community, and creativity come together. The Downtown Neighborhood Association provides valuable, complimentary services to all downtown businesses, organizations, property owners, and residents, helping you gain exposure and thrive. Whether you're already part of the district or exploring a new downtown location, DNA is here to help your vision grow. Join us in creating a vibrant, connected, and successful downtown Elgin. Call now 847-488-1456, or you can email info@downtownelgin.com. As for Jennifer Facala, Downtown Neighborhood Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big time sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, on Fox Sports. And before I get into any of the baseball talk, WNBA draft, or just the state of, well, the Chicago Bears, speaking of the Chicago Bears, we are going to be having our draft night on Thursday, April 23rd, starting at 6 p.m., coming to you live and in living color from the Knights of Columbus, located at 537 South York Road in Elmhurst, Illinois. You could expect food and drink, ice-cold beer specials, draft night food menus, which includes wings, burgers, and appetizers. We'll, of course, bring you the live draft coverage. They will also have big screen TVs there as well. Bears pick-by-pick reactions, guess the pick contest with squares, raffles, and other giveaways. I myself, from Big Top Sports, Derrick Geyer, will be in attendance, leading things. Also, Mike Napolitano from On the Rise. Cesar Perez will be in attendance as well, as long with Andrew Mighty Man Scheid. And even before the pre-draft, or draft coverage, I should say, gets underway, there will also be a Prairie Path Market there as well. And it is the vision of Prairie Path Market to create a warm, vibrant community hub off the trail. We imagine it as a carefully curated destination where local artisans, vintage sellers, bakers, and creators come together to offer unique, high-quality goods. They want they want visitors, whether they're on foot, bike, or from the neighborhood, to feel a sense of discovery and connection. Okay, so if you and your significant other are in the flea market, or in this case, the Prairie Path Market, which will also be held at the Knights of Columbus at 537 South York Street in Elmhurst in the Renaissance Room. So as I was saying, if you and your significant other are into markets, you could split paths. Go into the flea market, go into the market. If you're not necessarily feeling what's in there, or it's not your particular cup of tea or a particular libation, hell, go over to the bar area. Have a libation or two over there, because I am certain that on April 23rd, all of the talk will be about the NFL draft on that day. Today, I will not be talking primarily NFL draft or the Chicago Bears. I'm going to be talking baseball. Whether it be Noah Schultz Day, I can't believe I actually uttered that out of my mouth, and I'll get into it on the other side of that, on the other side of the break. Whether it be the Chicago Cubs getting kind of manhandled by the Philadelphia Phillies in what looked to be all sorts of quagmire dysfunction in the city of brotherly love yesterday. Oof. I mean, that was one hell of an ugly game, and I can't believe I watched a majority of it. The Cubs falling to the Philadelphia Phillies by the score of 13-7. And let's make no bones about it, this game wasn't even that close. I mean, the Cubs did pull within 6 runs. 13 from 7. Yeah, 6 runs. I could do math here. This is why I'm on the radio. But I've got some thoughts on that. I thought this was definitely one of those deals where the Cubs were in a lot better position than what seemingly they are in at the very beginning of this season, with their record being 7-9, only 16 games, last in the NL Central. The other teams in front of them, of course, are the St. Louis Sox Cardinals at 8-8. The Brewers are doing what they do at 8-7, even though they've dropped a few games over the last week or so. Surprise Reds at 9-7, and holy Smurf, don't look now, but arg. The Pittsburgh Pirates are currently sitting on top of the National League Central at 10-6. Oh, and, well, then you have the starts of a burgeoning career, or what everyone on the South Side is hoping will be a blossoming, that's the word I was looking for, a blossoming career in one Noah Schultz going up against the Tampa Bay Rays there on the South Side at the rate. And you will be able to hear the rookie's debut on these very airwaves, WRMN 1410 AM. Pregame starts at 6 p.m. with Jeff Meller's pregame show. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about Noah Schultz. And by a little, I probably mean a lot, because I've got some thoughts on that, on the thoughts that I've seen and read. And I mean, all of the programming leading up to Noah Schultz's rookie debut, MLB debut. I mean, if you've been paying attention on CHSN and their programming, well, you could understand why I called it Noah Schultz Day, because hell, everyone else has been doing it. I don't typically like to follow that trend. I typically like to buck the trend, if you will. But with that being said, I'm going to have some thoughts on that, because we talked a little bit about it on yesterday's show with Andrew Scheid here on Big Top Sports. And I really want to put things into perspective. And the way that I feel, not all of the rookies that come up are going to come up and dominate. I mean, hell, we saw it with PCA 2 years or so ago, year and a half or so ago. Got sent down to the minors. Colson Montgomery, he couldn't hit a lick. Chicago White Sox sent him out to Arizona to fine-tune his swing. Now, so far at the beginning of the season, doing okay-ish, if you will. But, I mean, you're also talking about other surefire hits that could have been surefire duds with all of the hype and everything tossed upon them by people that are quote unquote in the know? Question mark. The truth of the matter is, you don't know what you don't know as far as whether or not a prospect is going to stick. You don't know if it's going to be a Dylan Cease, a Lucas Giolito, Carlos Rodon. You don't know if these guys are going to be at that level. Because make no mistake about it, this is the major leagues. This is the best of the best. Let's tap the brakes on whether or not Noah Schultz is going to be a pitching phenom for the Southsiders. I'll get into it on the other side of this break. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. More on the other side with Fox Sports.
Building a house is hard, but have you tried removing one? Flood Brothers takes the mess out of demolition. With fast roll-off dumpster delivery, reliable debris pickup, and a family-owned team that takes service personally. Call 630-261-0400.
Hey, thank you for tuning in, everyone that is paying attention on the Tube of Views. I will get to that. I appreciate it. Always nice seeing everyone out there. Jeff, thank you. Brendan, thank you. Well, and everyone else that is, in the chat watching currently right now. And, well, yeah. Seeing my lovely face on youtube.com/@WRMN radio. But, I mean, yeah. And if you want, hey, Todd, what is up with you? I hope you are enjoying this fantastical day here. I certainly hope so, and I hope it is flying out of the park in both Philadelphia for the Cubs and at the rate for the Chicago White Sox. Because, yeah, after last night's game for the Chicago Cubs, Kyle Schwarber, ooh, that still stings. That really stings. But even still, it's nice. I cannot get mad at players that I liked for my previous teams, or my teams, or the previous teams, I should say, that they have played for. That is pretty much what I'm talking about right there. And yeah, I just can't believe that all of the hype surrounding him. Yes, he seems to be a good pitcher, a flamethrower, fireballer, but my goodness gracious. And these are, I know, feeding into the hype machine. Fishing season. Bassmasters? Bassmasters. Well, coming back live in studio in 10 seconds.
Much further. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And if you want to be a part of this sporting conversation going forward, please feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That is 847-931-1410. And as always, you could see my lovely mug on youtube.com/@WRMN radio. That's youtube.com/@WRMN radio. And before I went to break, as everyone seemed to be dubbing it, and by everyone, I mean all the sports head and sports pundits, and hell, even CHSN is in on the action because, well, hell, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't they be? It is one of the top prospects in the Chicago White Sox organization, number 2 in the org for the White Sox, Noah Schultz is. And, well, everyone's dubbing it Noah Schultz Day. And I'm going to take another tact for this. Let's pump the brakes a little bit, as I said before the break. Now, in the minors this year, Noah Schultz has a 3-0 record with a 1.29 ERA, 3 games pitched, 2 games started, 14 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts, and a whip of .43. Okay, that's pretty damn good. And as we mentioned yesterday, dude's like 6'10". He has the ability to top out in triple digits. He's got an electric slider. 6'10", 240, 22 years of age. Now, in my humblest of opinions, I'm not sure if we're getting the version of Noah Schultz, potential Hall of Famer already. Going out on a huge ass limb there. Or my favorite, as I was driving around earlier today, enjoying this gorgeous Chicagoland area weather today, or if it's going to be Schultz knows pitching. You know, if you're a fan of that old television series, Hogan's Heroes, where you had the idiot Schultz, Sergeant Schultz, where Sergeant Schultz knows nothing. Well, in this case, Schultz knows pitching. Well, for everyone in the White Sox org, and all of the Chicago White Sox fans, I understand. 3 consecutive 100 loss seasons. Fireballer coming up through the ranks. Carving up batters in the minors. But here, I need to do this real quick. CHSN programming today. And here, let's see what the schedule was like for CHSN, just to give it like a little bit of context here. So, the live events schedule. Okay, so kind of shooting myself in the foot right now, but because all it is it's saying that, the Chicago White Sox are taking on the Tampa Bay Rays at 6:30. I already mentioned that, but so here's the previous programming that was on CHSN. It was Noah Schultz and Bill Carlson earlier today. Then it was Chad Pinder joins the show with Charlotte Knights manager Chad Pinder on Schultz and Antonacci. Then you have Welcome to the Show. And I'm just reading off the taglines here as far as like what the programming was for CHSN. White Sox call up Noah Schultz from MLB debut on Tuesday. And then there was the Schultz debut multicam experience leading into the Chicago White Sox game at 6:30. So, a little bit of hype. Just a wee bit. From when he was the first round draft pick of the Chicago White Sox a couple of years ago. Born in Naperville, played his high school ball at Oswego East in Oswego. So local-ish boy to the Chicagoland area. If you want to, consider Oswego in the Chicagoland area. But hell, why not? Here's my deal. There are going, and I feel stupid, not STOOPID, I feel STUPID, talking about this in ways of where everyone who pays attention to baseball should understand that rarely do pitching phenoms or slugging all-stars make it to the bigs and hit right away. And when I say hit, I mean do well. Okay. Just go into it. I know that Chicago White Sox fans are looking for anything positive to come out of the season. And supposedly, with Noah Schultz making his debut tonight, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And if I got my facts correct, he was the number 2 prospect in the Chicago White Sox organization. Number 49-ish in all of Major League Baseball. So pretty damn good to be in the top 100. Hell, to be in the top 50. But there's going to be trials and tribulations as far as the 6'10", 240-pound flame-throwing lefty is concerned. Now, what's the length of rope that he's going to be given? If he doesn't come up and shove right away, or if he doesn't do good right away, are they going to send him back down and blow the kid's confidence? Or are they going to keep him up for the entire season and just let him work in the big leagues? Because let's face it, there needs to be a little bit of enthusiasm going forward for this season with the Chicago White Sox on the south side. But at the same time, I think you should be a little, cautiously optimistic would be the best way that I could put that into perspective. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Fox Sports, back in a bit.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Illinois House Democrat.
Now let's see what we can see. So, yeah, I mean, we talked about this yesterday. Andrew Scheid and myself, Derrick Geyer, as far as, whether or not Braden Montgomery, obviously Noah Schultz is up, Hagen Smith, and for all intents and purposes, Braden Montgomery is listed as the number one prospect in the White Sox organization. Probably not going to be coming up until middle of the season, but it also depends on whether or not he does well, because currently he's in Double-A. Hagen Smith, another fireball lefty. Tanner McDougal. So there are the proverbial bullets in the gun for the Chicago White Sox. And, well, why not? Yes, I did realize that he is in the area. And, ooh, yeah, ESPN, dirty bastards. I mean, with the exception of, when they go ahead and broadcast the Chicago White Sox games, because we are kind of, part of that. So there's that. Actually, that's, Kyle Teel. Show more, but it won't show more. I'm trying to multitask here, and geez, as of late, that hasn't been going very well, gotta say. Yeah, coming back live in 5 seconds.
Intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports feel the roar, where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Fox Sports Network. And before we went to break, I was talking about Noah Schultz, the quote-unquote phenom. He will be making his debut against the Tampa Bay Rays later on tonight. Pre-game can be heard, and as well as the game can be heard on these very airways, WRMN 1410 AM, starting at 6 p.m. with Jeff Meller's pre-game show. And if you want to get in on this sporting conversation, how do you feel about the buzz regarding one Noah Schultz? Noah Schultz. No pitching. Anywho, D. Yeah, feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. I'm going to be talking about the Chicago Cubs and that debacle of a game last night as well, and some glaring things that I find very hard to ignore in that loss to the Philadelphia Phillies last night. But one of the other points that I kind of want to get in off of my chest, or in on and off of my chest, is the fact that, okay, right now in the Chicago White Sox organization and in the minors, you've got Braden Montgomery listed as number 1 in the org. Noah Schultz, 2. Then you go down to number 4 with Hagen Smith, another fireball left-handed pitcher. Tanner McDougal has been a name that I've heard a lot about, and I'm sure anyone paying attention to the Chicago White Sox has also heard that name, Tanner McDougal. Then you also have the likes of Sam Antonacci, who is also in AAA, William Bergolla Jr., and possibly Mason Adams. Now, here's the thing. It is rare, and it is very, very tough to win games when you do not put the ball in play, when you did not get runners on the base paths, and when you are unable to score any runs. I know. Like, talk about silly talk, right? I mean, you only win 100% of the games where you score more than the other team, right? I mean, unless it's the NFL, in which, you could tie. But irregardless, now let's say you bring up all these arms, all these fireballers, all of these surefire hits. And I say that kind of sarcastically because, hell, if they are able to hit on all of these prospects, well, that would be the damnedest of things. Hands down, absolutely awesome. And the White Sox front office, and during their draft and trades and all that fun stuff, then they did one hell of a job. But, in order, like I said, in order to win games, you need to score more than the other team. Duh, Derrick. Now, if you're pitching and you keep the opponent to, I don't know, manageable scores, 3 runs, 4 runs, whatever, but you still can't put the baseball in play, you still cannot manufacture runs, you still cannot get runners across the plate, then where are you going to go? Yes, you do have, the likes of Braden Montgomery, Sam Antonacci. But what else? Colson Montgomery, Munetake Murakami. Okay. Kind of getting it there. Kyle Teal? Question mark? Now, the reason why I say question mark is the fact that, well, according to all initial reports, when he injured his hamstring, or he had a grade 2 right hamstring strain that was suffered back in March during the WBC and the World Baseball Classic. Well, 4 to 6 weeks back in March, so theoretically speaking, the timetable should line up to where he's coming back. Well, unfortunately, not so much as of yet. And he was one of the bright, shining spots for the Chicago White Sox, the pitching staff, and the offensive output that was expected to be during this season. Now you got like a little something. You got a little something. You already traded away Miguel Vargas yesterday. I do believe it was. Yeah, hold on a second. No, my bad. Wrong name. Oh, I love it when I fall flat on my face. And I'm typing Blue Jays. Lenine Sosa. Oh, my great googly moogly. So, yeah, you already traded away Lenine Sosa to the Toronto Blue Jays, acquiring an infielder. And you didn't really necessarily need to make any roster moves to have Noah Schultz be on the roster for today and the opening day start. But you've got these guys down in AAA. And remember all the hubbub with Colson Montgomery last season surrounding him? How fans were fickle. Oh, he needs, the time is now. But yet he wasn't ready. And even when he was called up, he was sent back down. And then he came back up, and then he started raking again. But in order to make everything work, everything needs to be in alignment. Starting pitching, bullpen, fielding, and most importantly, which has been kind of frustrating on this year so far, is hitting. And the strikeout numbers for the White Sox are just absolutely alarming. And I'm trying to multitask yet again. And so as of mid-April 2026, the Chicago White Sox, to say have struggled significantly would be an understatement, since they currently have the league's worst strikeout rate in all of baseball at 27.9%. And they have currently struck out at least 10.0 times per game. Not very good. And those numbers and metrics were brought to you by Sox Machine. The main culprit or culprits, if you want to divvy it up, well, was your highest, well, I think he's still the highest paid player for the Chicago White Sox, and Andrew Benintendi, 19 of 42. 19 strikeouts in 42 trips to the plate so far this season. Oh, God. Then you got Munetake Murakami. He's striking out, but he's also walking at a very high clip as well. And also hitting the ball over the fence, which has been a nice surprise early on in this season. And I'm going to go to the phone lines right now. What is your name and what do you want to talk about? Hello? Oh, you didn't have to be nervous. That's all right. I would have handled you with kid gloves, giving you the white glove treatment. But irregardless, 27.9% strikeout rate so far on this very young season for the Chicago White Sox. That's not getting it done. 10 strikeouts per game. It's making it way, way, way too easy for the opposition. Because last I checked, yes, 9 innings, 3 outs per inning. So that's 27 outs in a game. And when you cut down those number of outs to 17, and you're not putting the ball in play and you're not getting runners in scoring position, yeah, you're not going to win very many games. On the other side of this break, I'm going to be talking about the Chicago Cubs and what in the absolute frack was that yesterday out there in Philadelphia. More to come. You are listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Back on the other side of this short break. Fox Sports, baby.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Chicagoland? Need trusted legal help with real estate, evictions, or estate planning?
And it is time to get my energy drink, everyone. So I will be right back.
They handle titles and deeds, foreclosures, landlord-tenant issues, wills, trusts, and more. Appointments available evenings or weekends at their Roselle office or right in your home. Call Guthrie and Brady now at 847-524-1215. That's 847-524-1215. Or visit gnblegal.com. Guthrie and Brady, personal, professional, affordable legal services for all of Chicagoland. The happy lawyers since 1965. That's gnblegal.com. Or 847-524-1215. Guthrie and Brady, trusted legal help made easy, fast, affordable, and experienced. Call today.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
The staff at Rayco Printing want to remind you when driving, always drive with care. The life you save are your passengers and you, the driver. It's not the cars that kills, it's the driver. Stay off your iPhone and cell phones at all times. This public safety message brought to you by Rayco Printing, located at 6025 North Cicero Avenue in Chicago. For printing of business cards, letterhead, envelopes, flyers, brochures, and other business items printed, visit raycoprinting.net. Give them a call today at 773-777-6600. Your neighborhood printing specialist.
Elgin isn't just a city, it's a community built on connection, innovation, and opportunity. And at the heart of it all is the Elgin Chamber of Commerce. For over a century, the Elgin Chamber has helped local businesses grow, connecting entrepreneurs, advocating for progress, and inspiring the leaders of tomorrow. Whether you're a new business just starting out or an established company looking to expand, the Elgin Chamber is your partner for success. Join a powerful network of leaders making a difference in our community every day. Together, we're shaping the future of Elgin one connection at a time. Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce, where business and community grow together. Call now 847-741-5660 or go to info@elginchamber.com. Contact Carol Gieske.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift.
All right, welcome back in to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And I am going to pull a little bit of an audible. I know that I was going to, I said that I was going to be talking about the Chicago Cubs and that absolute pitiful game that they had against Kyle Schwarber, Bam Bam, and the Philadelphia Phillies yesterday. But I really want to sink my teeth into that. And with that being said, I'm going to pivot to the WNBA draft. And so yesterday the WNBA draft took place. And the Chicago Sky, I don't know why I said it like that, but the Chicago Sky selected Gabriela Jacquez, a guard and forward from UCLA, with the fifth overall pick in the 2026 WNBA draft. And so Jacquez is a 6-foot speedster, is a fresh off of winning the national championship with UCLA, and is expected to be one of the cogs, one of the building pieces to help rebuild the winning culture in, Chicago for the WNBA and the Chicago Sky. Okay. Now, with the earlier in the week departure of one Angel Reese, last week, I should say, when Angel Reese got traded down to Atlanta, and, not necessarily the backlash or whatever that has come from the Chicago Sky in trading Angel Reese, and just, I don't know. I in the time here, you know what? Nope. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. It wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. No. I'm going to stick with the Chicago Sky and why it's a good thing that the Sky ended up picked up Jacquez. And I hope I'm saying it right, but there is no phonetic spelling here. Anyway, so She can handle the ball. She's a talented 3-level scorer and could be the big piece in their quest to return the playoffs. She spent all 4 years of her college basketball career at UCLA, appearing in 145 games and averaging 9.9 points, 5 rebounds, and 1.6 assists. And in the NCAA title game, she scored 21 points and grabbed 10 rebounds to help UCLA defeat South Carolina, which you were able to hear on these very airwaves, WRMN 1410 AM. Now, the Sky also drafted Tasha Lattimore and Tani Morgan in the second and third rounds and acquired Rikia Jackson and Skylar Diggins through trades and signings. With the departure, and I do want to say all of this information that I am giving you right here is being brought to you by Chicago Today or nationaltoday.com/US/IL/Chicago News. And it's all about getting back into the winning culture here for the Chicago Sky. Now, Angel Reese, while polarizing, she said that she wants to win. She wants the organization to do better, which I guess that was detrimental to the team. And I'm paraphrasing here because I don't have it pulled up. But that is what I read, and that is why, I'm talking about it. Now, not only polarizing with the Chicago Sky in questioning management, which, hey, if you're not on the same page, you're quote-unquote superstar, and you're not on the same page with management, well, it's probably best that you part ways, and that's exactly what had happened with Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. So there is, because make no mistake about it, and as much fun as I would or had at Angel Reese's expense, whether or not she's missing her offensive rebounds and getting the rebounds and padding her stats, and there's been a little bit of pushback, and supposedly she still would have led the NBA in rebounds even if that stuff didn't happen. There's a big hole to fill under the both ends of the buckets. So we'll see how the Sky managed to construct their new iteration of the 2026 team and where they are going to be going from here. Because with the new expansions, the new revenue deal, the new CBAs, or just singular CBA, and the big market that is Chicago, things need to start pointing up for the Chicago Sky. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Fox Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes.
All right. Hit that, albeit it was shaky. I can self-criticize here because that is what I do. I don't give you any Bill Smith in regards to my thoughts and opinions on this, and I definitely have thoughts and opinions on the next subject coming up. which is going to be the Chicago Cubs, and they're taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm going to need an antacid talking about this Smurf. Yeah, I would definitely say the Philadelphia Phillies are built to win. And I don't know how anyone can say that the Cubs are built the same way as really? They're built the same way as the Philadelphia Phillies. I suppose at the very beginning of the season, you could kind of say that or talk about it or whatever. But let's be honest. The Cubs aren't doing Smurf, man. Ooh, Carson Kelly's hot. Yes. Yeah, Javier Assad got worn the frack out yesterday. Man, he wore that so good. I don't know what I've been told. Chicago Cubs bats are mighty cold. Ugh. Oh, thank goodness it's baseball season. It is rip your heart out season.
This starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by KFC. Starting this afternoon, scattered showers and thunderstorms with a high near 81. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely, mostly cloudy with a low around 63. Looking ahead to Wednesday, there will be more showers and thunderstorms with a high near 74. Currently, it's 79 and partly sunny. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals. And it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Real estate, be it residential or commercial, is often a person's most significant and priciest asset. Entering into a contract to buy or sell a real estate property is much more than just filling in the missing blanks on the printed contract. It's wise to hire a lawyer to prepare or review the offer to purchase real estate and take full advantage of his legal expertise. With Mark Sheblo, you will gain an attorney with over 26 years of legal practice and one who has helped thousands of clients to buy or sell their homes or investment property. We will safeguard your interests and might be able to even negotiate a better bargain than a client without proper legal counsel ever could. Oftentimes, a prospective buyer will submit an offer without first consulting an attorney, not realizing that once the offer is accepted by the seller, it becomes a binding contract. And the terms of that contract are not easy to be changed afterwards. Likewise, as a seller, you too will benefit from first consulting an attorney before signing. Feel free to call us for consultation at the law offices of Mark Sheblo at 773-775-5050. Our website is sheblolawoffice.com. Mark Sheblo can be reached 6 days a week at 773-775.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big Time Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And if you didn't already know, we will be holding a WRMN and Big Top Sports 2026 NFL Draft show live from the Knights of Columbus in Elmhurst with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, along with Mike Napolitano from On the Rise, along with Cesar Perez and Andrew Scheid. It is going to be at the Knights of Columbus in Elmhurst at 537 South York Road. Now, you could also attend the Prairie Path Market, which is going to be taking place at the Knights of Columbus in the Renaissance Room from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Think of it as a flea market, or in this case, the Prairie Path Market, where you're going to have local vendors coming in, where it's going to be vintage sellers, bakers, and creators come together, where they all come together to offer unique and high-quality goods. They want visitors, whether they're on foot, bike, or from the neighborhood, to feel free to come on in to get a sense of discovery and connection. So, hell, make it a date night on April 23rd. Go to the market, go to the Prairie Path Market, peruse some fine wares, goods, and possibly food. Or if you get a little sick of one another, hell, go into the bar area, have a couple libations, sit, watch the screens, and chill out, because we will be there covering the 2026 NFL Draft. What else will you be getting? So starting at 6 p.m., there's going to be food and drinks, ice cold beer specials, draft night food menus, which will include wings, burgers, and appetizers. Live draft coverage on big screens. Pairs pick-by-pick reactions, which is going to be my favorite because I'm actually going to be going out into the crowd, handing you the microphone, and you could talk about it. As long as you keep it clean, of course. And then there are going to be Guess the Pick contest squares, raffles, and giveaways, all taking place at the Knights of Columbus in Elmhurst. And once again, that is 537 South York Road in Elmhurst. And before I continue any further, don't forget to tune into the WRMN Morning Show with Susie C. and David Tees, where it's going to be wild, wacky, weird. Hump day! Hump, 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 hump day! On the morning show with Susie C. and David Tees. Okay. Going to be talking about Chicago Cubs, so if you want to get your Cubs thoughts off, please feel free to call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. And as always, you can see my lovely mug on youtube.com/@WRMN Radio. That's youtube.com/@WRMN Radio. Oh, that was one hell of an ugly game last night with the Chicago Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, why am I saying that it was an ugly game? Because, well, it was a damn ugly game in which the Philadelphia Phillies trounced the Cubs by the score of 13-7. And Javier Assad, while, subbing in for now Cade Horton and or Matthew Boyd, he only pitched. Well, he not only pitched, he pitched 4 1/3 innings yesterday, giving up 11 hits, 9 earned runs while walking 2 and striking out 3. And Kyle Schwarber did what Kyle Schwarber did. He went deep twice. Okay, whatever. The game before that, in which Javier Assad, glowing reviews and everything, he did his thing. He pitched shutout ball. But that was not against the lineup that is currently what the Philadelphia Phillies have. And I'm not even upset at what Assad did in yesterday's game, because that is a team that is legitimately, and I say legitimately, built for this year's playoffs. For example, you had Christopher Sanchez on the mound, fireball, flamethrower, left-handed pitcher, who was a little bit erratic yesterday. And when I say a little bit erratic, he did, however, pitch 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, gave up 2 earned runs, walked 3. That's the erratic part. So he was in and out of the strike zone for the 6 innings that he pitched. But he also struck out 8 Cubs batters. Okay. Now, today, you have Aaron Nola going on the mound for the Phillies. Another ace-type pitcher for the Phillies. Okay. Tomorrow, there's another flame-throwing fireballer for the Phillies that are going to be taking the mound against the Chicago Cubs yet again. My issues that I had in watching, not washing. I'm trying to wash that game right out of my head. I'm trying to wash that game. Anyway, the glaring holes that I mentioned at the very tippy top of this show, Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. And I do mean glaring. Where, okay, Michael Bush broke out of No. He did not break out of a 0 for 30 slump. He got a hit. He got a humpback liner hit, which is one hit. So he was 1 for 31. In those 31 at-bats, that is good for a .032 batting average. One of the main things that is, he is not the straw that stirs the proverbial drink so far in this very young season for the Chicago Cubs. I digress. You're finally taking Nico Horner and put him off into the leadoff spot. Awesome. Alex Bregman, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ. Oh, man. See, this is kind of where I'm a little perplexed and a little like, what the hell are we doing here? And in talking in the group chat and or with my roommate as well, I'm not exactly sure, and I'll get right around back to this, to why Ian Happ is batting where he is batting forever in the Chicago Cubs lineup. Yesterday, he was batting fourth, cleanup. Came up with the bases loaded, didn't do the job. However, later in the game, if you're looking at the box score, he went 2 for 5 with a run. But clutch time, not so much. And it just kind of boggles my mind as to why he is continuing to hit where he is hitting. And even today, he is in the cleanup spot. Michael Busch batting 135 with a OPS, or maybe this is slugging, at a .088, is batting number 2 in today's lineup. Well, it kind of brings me to my conundrum that I will pay off on the other side of this break. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Back in a bit. Fox Sports!
Do you ever crave a delicious treat, but that pesky guilt lingers over you? Well, you can have your dessert and eat.
I want to have my dessert and eat it too. Oh, great googly moogly. See, here's where I'm going with this, and since you're sticking with me, and it's pretty much going to be like a little bit of like rinse and repeat once I get back on the air. But since you're sticking with me through the break, I'll give you a little insider and a little bit of a heads up to maybe get the wheels going there on the YouTube. And if you want to call in and comment on it, feel free to at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Now, Nico Horner is the only one that is doing anything of consequence with batting average. I mean, he's hitting about 300, or at least what I'm looking at currently right now. Okay. Obvious leadoff spot. He hits well against lefties. He hits well against right-handed pitching. But who is going to come through for the Chicago Cubs? It's just a matter of I don't I don't understand what in the frack is going on. Well, yes, Ian Happ has, a few long balls. I believe it's, what is it? 4 on the year. Total of 7 RBIs. Batting average is .211. His OBP is .308. His OPS is .782. So I guess that's good enough. Or is it? Coming back.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense. Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one?
And not coming back.
Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle. Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain.
Yeah, I gotta, yeah.
So
Yes,
wheel,
Jeff.
Active driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you
I have absolutely no.
Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the ad.
I'm confounded.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride.
Hey, welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And during that break, I'm trying to work out my feelings and emotions about the Chicago Cubs and how they are progressing through this very, very young season. And I'm trying to wrap my head around what the lineup is like, or what the actual thoughts are, because I'm nowhere near an insider or anything. I've made mention of that plenty of times, but the thing of it is, and I'm trying to find out. Oh, here we are. Okay, so the starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs today is Nico Horner, followed by Michael Busch, Alex Bregman, Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki, Moises Ballesteros, Carson Kelly, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Dansby Swanson. Now, Ian Happ, well, let's take both Michael Busch, batting second, let's see what Michael Busch is batting so far. Michael Busch in 52 ABs is batting 135. That's your 2-hole hitter? That's your number 2-hole hitter in today's game against the Philadelphia Phillies, taking on Aaron Nola. Okay. Then you have Alex Bregman. Well, he's not much better in 65 at-bats, batting 215. Supposedly, well worth the contract and everything, and I'm not going to jump onto that right now. Hell, I don't know why they're batting like this. And the number 4 hitter, Ian Happ, with 57 ABs, is batting 211. What the actual frack? Oh, yeah, and by the way, one of the hits for Ian Happ was in garbage time yesterday. And that's not even where I'm even going with this. Coming back from the IL in 14 ABs, Seiya Suzuki, 3 hits in 14 ABs. Good for 214. Now I understand he's only had 14 at-bats. And if he goes 3 for 4, that's going to jump up to over 300. But my goodness, 7, 8, and 9. Carson Kelly needs to get moved up in the order. He's by far one of the hottest hitters on the Cubs, aside from Nico Horner. But if you were going to put Michael Busch lower than the 5-hole, you got PCA who's struggling. You got Dansby Swanson at 9. Where in the hell are you going to put these other 3 guys that are doing terrible this year? I don't know. Maybe the caller can help me out and explain. Hello, caller. What's your name and what you want to talk about here on Big Top Sports?
Bob Mariner. Yeah. Hey, guess what? You all got lucky. You got me on a Tuesday night over here on Big Top Sports. sitting here on my back porch on the northwest side of Chicago. What I'm saying over here is, dude, if you're going to shake things up and you're going to do things that don't seem normal, now's the time of the season to do it, okay? There's been too many times where people start shaking things up in, like, end August, beginning of September.
Okay, first off, like, Bob, I kind of want to interrupt you there. No, I don't kind of want to. I'm going to interrupt you. I thought you were working tonight.
I was. I just got out of a meeting.
Oh, sorry. Well, okay. My bad.
I can't make it from Chicago to Elgin in like 20 minutes, buddy.
Oh, man. Well, the voice that you are hearing right now is none other than Bob Mariner, usually a co-host here on Big Top Sports, but, scheduling conflicts and everything. But he's kind enough to join me from his back porch. So if now is the time.
I had to.
Now is the time. You're saying to shake things up. I want to hear what you're saying because, yes, please, I am all for this right now.
Hey, if there's going to be any time to experiment with your lineup, early in the season is the way to do it, okay? I don't know. That's just me. I'm like, it's all sports. You never know who's getting injured. Who's doing this, who's doing that, who might be going to another team, who might not be a team player. Do all your figuring out stuff now. All right?
Well, I think we kind of figured out a couple of things last night. Is that in watching, I can't believe I watched basically the entire game, was that, well, Miguel Amaya should not be playing first base. And Michael Bush, I'm sorry, not Michael Bush, but Matt Shaw, apparently he is second on a lot of positional depth charts for the Chicago Cubs, which brings me to the fact of...
Hey.
Holy Smurf.
You say that now. No, you got to do it a little bit more. Work these people out.
Well, yeah, in games of ill consequence and everything, when they're blown out, essentially. But, I mean, when you're pinch hitting for Nico Horner, when you actually have a chance to maybe create a lineup and you're going with that turd, I don't know, man.
Whoa. Don't call Nico Horner a turd.
I am not calling Nico Horner a turd. I am calling the guy that pinch hit for him a turd.
Okay, that's fair enough. All right. But you got to give him a chance. And if you're going to give him a chance, you got to do it now.
I mean, Scott Kingery, really? Anyway.
If you're going to take hits, take them right now. All right? Take them before May. All right? Please do all your experimenting, do everything you can get out of your system. Get it out now. If you start putting people in different positions that they're not supposed to play and they suck, do it now, all right? Because guess what? By the time playoffs come, you might have somebody who's... Dude, I mean, you might have first base or playing third base or freaking center
playoffs.
field. You don't know. You laugh now.
Hey,
I'm just
Bob,
saying,
you know how I'm on the roller coaster ride. I am... it's just so damn frustrating. You know how it is.
It's the beginning of the freaking season. Please. Dude, like I'm saying, right now, I'm going to put first base at third base. Put third base in freaking left field. Dude, do everything you can to make sure when you get to the end of the season, when you get to October baseball, that you can move anybody where you need to move them.
Yeah.
And then you're a real baseball team. That's great. You're a great first base. You're great this. I don't care. I don't care. At this point, I want you, early in the season, move everybody around. When it gets to October baseball, let anybody play anything.
Fair enough, Bob. I just hope that they do what they did with the relief pitching last season, where that didn't necessarily work out. and they cut a whole bunch of people, including the guys that you paid like a couple, well, $14-15 million in a closer in Ryan Priestley. Thanks for calling in, Bob. I do appreciate it. Have a good one. That was Bob Mariner, usually a co-host here on Big Top Sports, but not today. Big Top Sports, WRMN.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan.
And that caller was brought to you by Mangiamo's in Genoa. For tasty Italian food, go to Mangiamo's in Genoa. They will be opening up later on this month, and they are located at 133 West Main Street, Genoa, Illinois. And let me tell you, their food is absolutely delicious. Had a tasting over the weekend over there, and my goodness, I did not have a single solitary thing that I put in my mouth food-wise that was... Oh, everything was tasty. Everything was absolutely tasty. Oh, so delicious. So good. Mangiamo's in Elmhurst. Oh, looky here. Looky. I found Cookie. If you are paying attention on the WRMN Facebook, WRMN YouTube feed, go to the WRMN Facebook page where Susie C. of the WRMN Morning Show has got her hump day question of the day, which is, what was one of your favorite sitcoms growing up? What was one of your favorite sitcoms growing up? I'll save it for live on air because I got a little bit of business to do. But yes. Yes, indeed, Roo. How about you? I have no idea why I just came up with that or why I even said it. It sounds stupid as all Smurf. Man, it's like watching a clown car across the street. There are about like 10 people that just piled into that SUV. I gotta kind of see what that is. Maybe there's got like some 17th row seating in there or something. Oh, anywho. Anyhoody. I realize that it is at the very beginning of the baseball season. I get it. I understand. Maybe it'll be a juxtaposition of last season to this season, where the Cubs come out of the gate scorching hot in the first month and a half of the season, April, May. Had one hell of a West Coast trip. And then they faltered down at the end of last year. Maybe they're just faltering right now at the very beginning of this season, April and May. But you don't want to falter too much because you got the likes of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Cincinnati Reds, Milwaukee Brewers, and the St. Louis Sox Cardinals all in front of you, and you are looking up. Going live.
That's paid for their testimonial.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. eagles fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big time sports feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And because I was up against the break, I could not tell you that Big Top Sports phone line and Bob Mariner calling in on said phone line was brought to you by Mangiamo's in Genoa. Fine Italian cuisine, and you could find Mangiamo's at 133 West Main Street in Genoa, Illinois. Very tasty stuff. I highly recommend going there. Their focaccia bread is absolutely delicious, as well as was their chicken parmesan sandwich that I basically rate all of the Italian places that I go to, whether it be the chicken parmesan sandwich and or the chicken parmesan dish. And let me tell you, their pasta is phenomenal as well. Their sauces, delicious. But yes, that caller was brought to you by Mangiamo's in Genoa, located at 133 West Main Street in Genoa, Illinois. And before I get any further into this Big Top Sports final half hour, please come see us when we do our live draft show. WRMN and Big Top Sports will be hosting the 2026 Bears draft show from the Knights of Columbus in Elmhurst, Illinois. Along with myself, Derrick Geyer, there will be Mike Napolitano from On the Rise, which you could hear every Saturday morning from 10 until noon. Andrew Scheid, typically co-hosts with me on Mondays. He will be filling in for me on Friday as well, 4 to 6. And then there is also going to be welcoming back to WRMN, Cesar Perez. So looking forward to doing that. Doors open at the Knights of Columbus in Elmhurst at 6 p.m., but there's also going to be, okay, come on now. Come on. Pull it up. This is going great. At 5 o'clock, starting from 5 until 9, also at the Knights of Columbus, there will be the Prairie Path Market. So if you are into markets, flea markets, there are going to be all sorts of crafts, food, etc. So come there, enjoy that. If you get a little tired of your significant other, that's all right. Go to the bar, have a couple libations. Stick around. There's going to be lots of televisions. So you could peruse all of the draft information that we will be talking about later on in the evening at the Knights of Columbus in Elmhurst. All right. So as Bob Mariner was talking about, this is the time when you go ahead and you experiment. I know that's, oh, great. Oh, Charlie horse, leg cramp. If Andrew Scheid was in the studio, he'd be laughing at me right now. Oh, dear God, I need to hydrate more. Either that or eat a banana or something. Oh. Okay, I'm going to power through it. So this is the time of year where you need to kind of experiment to see what you have in your team and in your roster. And it's kind of what I was talking about, or what Bob hit upon that I wanted to get to, is I'm not exactly sure where everything fits or how everything is going to fit. going forward because you got the super utility in Matt Shaw. Super utility, hopefully, who is going to be hitting and batting and putting runners or putting himself on base, driving runners in, et cetera, et cetera. But I kind of want to see, I want to see where the Chicago Cubs did it last year with their bullpen, is if people aren't getting the jobs done, they said, thank you, but no thanks. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to send Matt Shaw down to the minors? He's got options. You're going to send Ballesteros down to the minors, who essentially is basically just your DH right now, when Seiya Suzuki is going to be playing right field. Not that you would put Ballesteros out there in right field anyway. I mean, he came in at the very tail end of the game. I think it was like the 8th or 9th inning, and he was catching. Okay. And then Miguel Amaya was playing first base. And my goodness, there were a couple of plays where Dansby Swanson went into the hole, threw over to first base. The throw was offline, and the ball just clanked off of Miguel Amaya's first base glove, one of which went into the stands, which means the runner goes to second base. Dansby Swanson gets charged with an error, and Dansby Swanson looking all sorts of pissed off. I mean, it was almost as if the people or the producers in the truck were like, or got the red phone, or have the red phone in the producer's truck or in the television truck, and the president of Marquee or the Ricketts were on the bat line calling the truck, get that camera off of him. Get that camera. He looks so pissed. And it's like, well, and I could almost read his thoughts. Well, if I had a regular first baseman over there, if Michael Bush was over there, he would have picked it. If Michael Bush was over, if some other competent first baseman was over there, they could have picked it. They could have saved it from going out of play. They could have saved me from the error. And they could have, potentially, given me another shot at winning a Gold Glove. Ugh, I say. But what about like all the hitting and pitch lab? You hear about the pitch lab that the Chicago Cubs have, right? Well, it's a taxi squad at this point. Because today, transactions from today and yesterday, or actually today as in the 14th, Tuesday, the Cubs recalled Luke Little, not so little, from AAA, who has been on the taxi squad for at least 2 years, from what I can remember. Thank you, Charlie Barnes, for your service in yesterday's game. He was optioned back down to AAA Iowa. On Monday, or actually not Monday, but Ethan Roberts was placed on the 15-day IL, retroactive to Monday, with a right middle finger laceration. And the Cubs have also recalled Ryan Rollison from AAA. So in dealing or in getting some sense of what the Cubs need to do against the Philadelphia Phillies lineup, and this might go to what Bob was talking about, you got the sense that, we need some more left-handed pitchers to face the Cubs, the Philadelphia Phillies lineup. And with that being said, the Cubs are going with left-handed pitcher and opener Riley Martin. Now, the game's already underway. Already 1 out. Bregman's up at bat. I'm sorry, 2 outs. Bregman's up at bat. Nico Horner and Michael Bush not, getting on base, so now it's Bregman and Aaron Nola doing what Aaron Nola is doing, and yeah. So, in theory, with left-handed opening pitcher, Riley Martin, going against the lineup of Trey Turner, left-handed power-hitting DH, Kyle Schwarber, and then Bryce Harper. Hopefully, it's a clean inning. And then Colin Ray could come in and do his thing against, the predominantly, well, not really predominantly right-handed lineup. They got a nice lineup, where it's alternating right-handed batters and left-handed, batters for the Philadelphia Phillies. It's just, they're constructed to win. And if they don't make the playoffs, or if they don't make a deep run in the playoffs, I would be very surprised. And it is what it is. But right now, the Cubs starting rotation is kind of a quagmire. The bullpen is kind of a quagmire. The starting lineup is a befuddlement. Not really so much the starting lineup, but the bats might as well be in Antarctica right now. I don't know any. I'm trying. I am trying out there to be positive. Yes, I realize that it's very early in the season. But I am suffering from post-traumatic Cub syndrome, PTCD. And I can't even say it's post-traumatic Shota disorder. It's post-traumatic Cub disorder. And after 10 years ago, when the Chicago Cubs won the World Series, and that's the only one that we have. Yes, damn it, I am greedy. Yes, I want more. Yes, I just want them to do well. Okay. Enough about that. On the other side, I kind of want to talk about the WWE, TKO, and the fiasco that is, well, WrestleMania 42. On the other side of this break, you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN, 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, on Fox Sports.
What's the best way to get rid of a timeshare that you don't want? Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline. We're a group of attorneys that help customers legally exit their timeshares. It's an easy process. We guarantee results or you pay nothing. Exit your timeshare today. Call now.
800-890-5957. 800-890-5957. That's 800-890-5957.
All the other planter box treatments, they're playing catch-up. BioBoost doesn't just replace talc and graphite. It uses microbes to fuel early vigor and drive season-long performance, helping corn and soybeans deliver at least a 3 times.
Well, howdy, Sudie ZC.
Advantage of 7.41 bushel per acre on corn.
See?
And a 3.92 yield advantage on soybeans. Get BioBoost today. Visit bwc.com/trustthedust to learn more.
Firearms are the #1 cause of death among kids, but we know that healthcare workers can make a huge difference. This is why prevention is absolutely critical. It starts with listening to the community, leaning in on those conversations to better inform what is the approach that you want to take. You are the champions for change. You can be the catalyst for integrating firearm injury prevention strategies into your practice and really benefiting your community. Let's agree to agree that we all have a role to play in ending this crisis.
It's easier than you think for pests to threaten your family's health.
ticks, which spread dangerous diseases, hide in tall grasses, and even on your pets. Rodents easily invade your home, contaminate food, and can carry more than 35 diseases. Mosquitoes, which breed in standing water, transmit many diseases. Get the facts you need to protect your family at pestworld.org. It's that easy. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, they're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside.
And welcome back in to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. With WrestleMania being right around the corner this upcoming week, and seemingly, it seems that, well, the powers that be in the camp of the WWE, not necessarily TKO, but the camp of the WWE, where, okay, TKO bought the WWE, and they said that your prices are absolutely too low, so they raised them, which included all the premium events, premium live events, PLEs, premium live events, and now, once what that was advertised as, family friendly. And I'm going off of this as, from the article of Jordan Mendoza from USAToday.com. WrestleMania 42 ticket prices controversy. Why are fans upset with WWE? Well, it's plain and simple. Keep on raising the prices. Keep on what? Okay. Reset. What was at first supposed to be a family event. Now all of the events, all the big events being held in football stadiums, right? WrestleMania 41. Okay, higher ticket prices because it was going to be John Cena's last match at WrestleMania. I'm not exactly sure what they were thinking of raising the prices to what they were doing as far as WrestleMania 42 because, okay, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. We've had a very interesting last couple of weeks. Pat McAfee coming back, touting Randy Orton, how he should be the face of the company, blah, blah. But, Pat McAfee is also known as being friends with, some members of the TKA Holdings Group or the TKA Group Holdings, where his agent is a part of that. I do believe. I could be wrong, but I do believe that is the thing. They also merged with UFC in September of 2023, all of which formed this TKO holding group. Now, when tickets were first released for both Night 1 and for Night 2 of WrestleMania 42 held at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, the tickets were over $850. Okay, I could kind of see that because it's the Super Bowl of their wrestling advocate or their wrestling season, and it's a 365 thing per year. WrestleMania happens. The following night, on Monday Night Raw, they get into the next season. So when you actually have people like their top end baby faces, such as Cody Rhodes, or I don't know if he's necessarily a top end baby face. I sure as hell love him in CM Punk, Chicagoland area, Chicagoland native, to where he drops his pipe bomb last week, calling out Pat McAfee and TKO about the ticket prices. Well, that is all on apparently TKO. So during his pipe bomb, CM Punk is calling out TKO. You want, and here's a quote, "You want to talk about ticket sales. Do me a favor, call up that agent that was foolish enough to shoehorn you into this business and this show and tell him to lower ticket prices." This is CM Punk talking about Pat McAfee. "Lower the ticket prices because I want all these families to come and watch me stand on Roman Reigns' throat at WrestleMania." I mean, he's doing a good sell job there, but he's also dropping the pipe bomb on TKO. Now, as of this past weekend, there have been just over 40,000 tickets distributed for night one and 42,000 tickets for night two, respectively, according to WrestleTix. Now, the event that was there last year experienced tickets in the neighborhood of selling 60,000 tickets for nights 1 and 2. Night 1 of WrestleMania 41, there was an attendance of 58,538. Night 2, 60,103. So far, each night of WrestleMania going forward, 45,000. Quick math on 60,000 from 45,000. That's 15,000 less seats being sold. Huh. I wonder why. The exorbitant prices are just absolutely astonishing. And if they don't do something soon to correct it or right their wrong, I don't know. Their attendance is going to be dwindling. And it already is, by all intents and purposes, by taking a look at these numbers. Up next, it is going to be Jeff Meller and the pregame show for the Chicago White Sox with rookie debut of Noah Schultz. Schultz knows pitching! Yes, I hope Noah Schultz knows pitching. Thank you to my guests for calling in. One Bob Mariner on the Mangiamo's call-in hotline located in Genoa. This has been Derrick Geyer of Big Dop Sports, WRMN.
It all comes down to this, folks. Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks Vapor.
And just a sidebar as I go into Big Top Sports after hours here. I wanted to go to WrestleMania. I just don't have the coin, cash, or whatever. But even still, when you're talking about that kind of bread and that kind of, and that's just for night one and night two, but you're also talking about sitting in the nosebleed seats. I'm not dropping that kind of money I would much rather go on a vacation. I would much rather go on a cruise or, get some sort of production set up or whatever, all taken care of for that kind of money to drop instead of dropping it on WrestleMania. I've been talking about this for like the last year and a half or whatever. And they for what it is, yes, I understand. TKO. It's a sports entertainment avenue aspect, whatever, conglomerate, along with UFC and a couple other things. But when you're shooting yourself in the foot and you're charging what here's why I know that they are hurting. This is absolutely why I know that they are hurting. This is the first time that the WWE is going to be offering the first hour of their WrestleMania coverage, nights 1 and 2, on ESPN. Yes, they do have a deal with ESPN. They do have a deal with ESPN. Make no mistake about it. But to give it away for free on those platforms tells me that they are hurting and that they are hoping against hope to whet the appetite of who's ever watching that first hour on both nights to buy into that package on ESPN Plus and join that package. Here, I got to pull it up. ESPN Plus package with WWE. Okay, let's see. 2 nights, blah, blah, blah. What is the package? So what used to be $9.99 eventually made its way up to $19.99. And I was fine with that because, hell, I like CM Punk, I like Roman Reigns, I like Cody Rhodes, I like, Randy Orton. I really, kind of, take whatever, Pat McAfee or not. But I'll be damned, because in this economic time and with my ass having to struggle and making the decisions to basically cut all the cords, and trust me, the WWE is one thing that I've grown up watching my almost the entirety of my life. So to not actually be able to watch the premium live events, it hurts. And for me to actually want to get into talking about the WWE and wrestling, it hurts. And I know you got to spend money to make money and all that, stuff. By the way, this is going PG-13. It already has, but you should know that by now, because this is Big Top Sports Extra here on WRMN.com/at. Okay, totally fricked that up. It's YouTube.com/at WRMN radio, where you're getting this extra rant and extra talk. But yeah, why did they switch to ESPN? Well, cha-ching. Why have they raised their prices? Well, cha-ching. Everyone wants more money, right? Well, where does that money come? If you're a fan, well, they come from the events that they hold on. They come from the week-long events leading up to WrestleMania. Hell, they're selling out stadiums for the WWE Hall of Fame induction. The whatever Tommy or Tony or Get Tony show thing at another event. The dead man is hosting his own show. I mean, this is just a gambit to cha-ching, 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 cha-ching it all out of your pocket and put it into theirs. And I get it. And I have absolutely no problem with it. But there's a lot of broke-ass people out here. And if you're really touting fan-friendly, then you need to do better. And not just pander to the fans. CM Punk's pipe bomb. Yeah, sure. Live and in person. That got a nice pop. Cody Rhodes, when he told, the powers to be to kiss his ass. Yeah, sure, that got a nice pop. Until the powers that be realize what they're doing to their fans, you're going to lose more and more fans by the drove. And you're going to send them to other companies and other wrestling organizations. It's as simple as that. I'm Derrick Geyer. This has been Big Top Sports, WRMN 1410 AM, Fox Sports. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy this gorgeous weather. Have a good one, y'all.